see you, Daddy. Hey, sweetheart. Always my first one online, bringing me so much joy. I see you, Daddy. Yes, we are live. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, Daddy. Okay, so I take that's what the hearts mean. Okay, so we're gonna start in 2 minutes. Give everyone like just a few more ticks to come on board, and we will get started. Oh, as always, I mentioned get you something to drink, something to help you stay relaxed and enjoy, because we're going heart to heart. And I am ready to get this party started. So let's start off with my heartbeat. All right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Heart to Heart with none other than Lady Love. This is episode number 6 and the final episode of The Rabbit Hole. I can't believe we have done 6 episodes of The Rabbit Hole. But I am so happy about that, and I'm looking forward to the things that are to come. So, I hope that you are ready. So, I didn't even bring me nothing over here to drink. I knew it was something. I was doing so good. Because I'm catching on. I'm doing much better. Let me get my other cue card agenda set here and in my slideshow so that we can go. Okay, so this episode is Purpose, the light beyond the hole. Because now things are looking up, right? Okay, so we're going to be doing this, and we are going to start off with our inhale and exhale exercise for our purple power pause. So here we go. Inhale and exhale. I say yes to my purpose. Inhale and exhale. I release fear and step into the light, because we're coming out the rabbit hole and we are stepping into the light. So what purpose looks like after pain? What does purpose look like after pain? Well, I thought grief was my end, but it was my becoming. So my grief was my becoming. And I had to come up out the hole to begin to see that more and more. So the teaching message for today is the call to serve, because that's what the end result was for me. So I realized once I came up out the hole, had gone through the other phases that we talked about, the different layers, and I'm standing there and I'm looking down at that rabbit hole. I'm looking and I'm like, wow, even when you look down in it, it's dark. It's like, you know how when you're out or people discover a big hole somewhere in the ground or in a tunnel or something, and they have to take a light and then drop it down in there, and it goes down, 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 and then it finally drops and you can begin to see something like that. Well, even when you drop it, you still can't see that much. That's how it can be. So I'm on the other side now, and I'm looking down in this rabbit hole, and I'm thinking, how can I use this to help someone else? That was a lonely, difficult journey. And it is something that I would never want to go through by myself, if you will, again. As I talked about the different ways of coming out, the support and the family and other things, that first initial process of being there, it was a lonely experience because I'm trying to figure out what's happening before I can even know I need help or realize that I need some help, or what kind of help do I need, right? So I thought about it once I came out. I said, it's a lot of people in the world that have experienced the rabbit hole. Depression is what I call a rabbit hole. And as I mentioned before, there are different kinds of depression. There are different layers of depression. And there are different levels of depression. The thing about it, though, is at the end of the day, it's okay. At the end of the day, it's okay. So I decided I need to share this because there are misconceptions out there about therapists and needing a counselor, or they talk about laying on the couch and all of this nonsense that I was even a part of before I fell in myself, remember? And if you haven't seen those other episodes before we started the rabbit hole, go back to the beginning. All of them are on YouTube channel, Heart to Heart with Lady Love, and they're all connected, just as I said they would be. So I said, I have got to use this for everyone. Children, teenagers, adults, young adults, people who think they're an adult. I think that's probably me in that one. But we all, if you have a heart and your heart is beating, then you may have challenges or face challenges with the rabbit hole. with depression. And it's okay to say the word even. Okay? Remember, we're getting past that, because there again, that's the first step. So I said I got to use this to help others, and especially the young ones. You know, I'm a voice for children, and I hear their cry, and I am here to serve. Thank you, my love. And my heart just beats faster when I think about the children. As a matter of fact, I am so excited about the fact that school starts back tomorrow. So if my Oliver babies are listening in or able to see, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And my Scott babies, I know you started Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, well, hubby says you're going to start tomorrow too. Anyway, I want you to know how much I love you, wish you a great year, and you know I'm coming to see you. That's just going to happen automatically, right? So I'm excited about that, and I want you all to know always that I'm here, okay? So once I realized that I could use this to help others, I have scars. The hole, digging out of it, you're hitting the sides, you're digging with my nail. I got dirt under my nails breaking. I got dirt everywhere trying to figure out how to get out of this hole. So I have the scars, but the scars are not my shame. I'm not ashamed of my scars, because my scars are what I use to service others. It's like someone trying to tell a pregnant woman what it's like to be pregnant and have never been pregnant. That part. You can share all the things you want to share and all of that, all the book knowledge and everything, but until you have experienced what it's like to be pregnant, to give birth, to have children, there's only so far you can go, correct? Well, I have some deep scars, and I'm still here, and I'm still happy, and I still see you, okay? So I'm very, 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 very happy about that. So when it came to aligning myself with my purpose, I got to where I was going to start a new beginning, right? A adjustment of learning how to live physically in the world without seeing my daughter, without seeing my grandmother, and knowing that even with that, I still have a purpose. Remember, we talked about the roles that we play, the roles that we live, and who we are when those roles are not there. So I had a little bit of fear when it was time for me to come on out. But I felt the fear and did it anyway. So the difference between me surviving and living on purpose is that I have my light. I have my light, and I get to shine my light wherever I choose, right? And so do you. So now I was thinking, we know I have a passion for kids. And I decided, of course, to get on back into being around the kids, which I always kind of did. And I'll talk more about some of my teaching experiences that I've had over these 20 plus years I've had in education. Some very interesting stories. some beautiful stories, some heartbreaking stories, some devastating stories. It's amazing the stories that I have that I will share. But keeping this within the same platform, I decided that I was going to feel the fear and do it anyway. And I began to realize that others weren't really seeing me as someone who just came out of a rabbit hole. I was still who I am without the roles, and that's what people saw. We're harder on ourselves than others will ever be, in my opinion. And some of the shame that I felt, the embarrassment, the what are others gonna say? I'm the author of How to Love Stress and Live Longer, and I'm in a freaking rabbit hole, okay? If that's not feeling like the biggest hypocrite, is what I used to say. Now it's a part of my purpose. My purpose in sharing that I have lived and breathed and hung out in the rabbit hole, up and down, up and down. And each time I strive to learn something else that I can share with others, to be open. So even now, when I fall into the rabbit hole, my mindset is even different now because I have experience with the rabbit hole. And sometimes I don't know if that's good or bad, but I choose, because nothing has meaning except the meaning I give it, that it's a good thing. That I go in and my mindset is, okay, I know where I am. I can immediately identify this. Where are my tools that I planted down here? Because each time I was there, I put things in place. Like, okay, I'm going to put this up. Almost like you set up your room, and you know, I got my dresser over here, my closets over here, my TV's here. I have to. That's how you do, or how I began to do with the rabbit hole. I have my cue cards here. I have my mental programming here, understanding that even if I'm doing it and feeling nothing, I'm still doing what needs to be done. So there's a layer that is now protected even in the rabbit hole. Hope that makes sense. Have you ever experienced something, and when you're back there again, almost like deja vu, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, I've been here before. What's happening? No, don't you do that, and don't you do that, because I know what's coming. Have you ever felt like that? That's how that rabbit hole experience can feel as well. So be ready and know that it's going to be okay. So my pain and all of these things, and remember, pain is whatever you define as your pain, your grief, the thing that caused you depression, whatever it can be. How big or how small does not matter. What matters is if you're there, we're able to identify, we're able to pull things together, we get the support we need, and hey, we climbing up out of there, okay? We climbing up out of there. And then we're going to help someone else. Toss that rope down there for someone else to grab hold to and say, come on, I got you. Because Lady Love got you, okay? I got you. So that's my platform now. And everything is going to be okay, as my hubby would always tell me. Everything is going to be okay. And I would look at him like, bye. And he would still stand his ground and say, it's going to be okay, baby. It's going to be okay. And so now I know I can use all of this to heal others, to help others, from children to adults. If you have a heartbeat and you're having challenges, reach out to me. I'm here to help. I'm here to do what I can because I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. So let's go over one of the quotes I would like to say is, I don't have scars of shame. I have scars of service. Those scars are my evidence too for you to know that I'm not speaking from a place that I've never been. And I'm also speaking from a place, hey, Juan Lee, that is okay to be there. And I'm evidence that you can still rise above it. It does not determine who you are. It is a part of life. All of the different emotions. Remember, I mentioned depression as being something that the sadness is just tenfold, 20-fold, third power, whatever you want to call it. It is still an emotion that we all can feel and fall into. It is nothing taboo. It is nothing to be ashamed of or afraid of. Like I told you, I take my medication for you. I like to joke with that because sometimes if I forget, it's not that I feel like I'm going to, fall into the hole or anything, but I do feel like, let's see, I feel like, well, actually, to be honest, I began to have a slight headache that I realized later on in the evening, because usually if I forget to take my medication, I take it in the morning as part of my morning routine. And if I miss it, sometimes I don't realize it until I'm home and I'm in the bed, and it's like I start just feeling this slight headache. And then my mind says, did you take your medicine? Because I had to realize that when I skipped medicine, I did start getting a headache. So, but anywho, that's what I do with that. Now, I really feel that I'm at the point of being able to be weaned off. And mind you, if you're taking medication, do not take yourself off, because it needs to be a process. And I say that again from experience, get to feeling better and stuff. You already feel like, okay, I can't believe I was here anyway. I don't need this medicine anymore. I got this. No, you don't. Okay? No, you don't. No, you don't. So, the weaning process. So I have my next doctor's appointment, I think in the next couple of months, and we may start talking about that. And we'll see. And I keep my therapist. I think everyone needs a therapist. Everyone needs a therapist. And a therapist is someone to talk to that is totally disconnected from you, but yet you see them on a regular professional basis to get things out. Things that you don't want to share with anybody else. You can share it with your therapist. And you can share it with those close friends that takes years to build a close relationship with, to have a level of trust, to know if you say this, it's going to stay there. Because that's what it's all about. All of it is communication. If you really think about it, all of it is communication, and all we do is communicate. So in closing, I want to give the closing inhale, exhale process for our Purple Power Pause. So inhaling and exhale. My purpose is bigger than my pain. My purpose is bigger than my pain. I walk boldly into the light. I walk boldly into the light. So I am purpose in motion, and I am here to serve, educate, and empower. Now, for your assignment in closing and your growth assignment, your growth awareness is to journal on. If you haven't been journaling before, do your little journaling. I even have started doing my journaling digitally as far as video and recordings and things that I can even pass on to others myself. You know, technology has helped us to come a long way. So journal on. And if fear wasn't holding me back, is my question to you. So I'm going to say it to you. If fear wasn't holding you back, how would you live your purpose today? And if it's not fear that's holding you back, what is holding you back? Have you ever thought about something holding you back? Are you even aware that something is holding you back? See, this is when we get into... I think about him all the time, Juan Lee. Dr. Johannes, that was our buddy. Man, and I want to see him. I really do. I wonder if he's still at Savannah or what. But anywho, and thank you for that compliment, because that was a huge compliment, because Dr. Johannes was the bomb. And Juan Lee says he feels like I was listening